It may well be that we're the first people to start feeding the village with fruit and veg from this land since the 1700s.
Wow. The point of Seed and Spoon is to introduce people to farmers, producers, restaurants that use local produce, to highlight what they do, how they do it, the hard work that goes into it. And we want to talk about why we believe in eating seasonal local produce. We're here at LOVEBROOK Farm at Kingston in East Sussex to talk to Hannah and Rich about what their farm, their market garden, campsite, orchard, food forest, what it looks like, what it's going to be like. They've only been here, I think this is the beginning of their second year. Let's just go and have a look and see what they're up to. Hi, good to see you.
And you, yeah, hi.
How are you keeping, all right?
Good, yeah.
Yeah?
Welcome.
Thank you. Looking forward to it. So we're going to have a little wander around and it's looking great, cool. What have you planted in the orchard?
We've got apples, pears, cherries, a mulberry.
I grew up in Zimbabwe and I remember as a kid always getting told, make sure you don't wear nice clothes and up in the mulberry tree because you come back stained and covered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a few years before we start to get a good crop of mulberries, but
Yeah.
it's worth putting in now this year.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Is it white? Because you've got white and dark, haven't you, mulberries?
Yeah, white and black, yeah.
Have you got both in or just one? Or?
We've got, I've actually put two more in of this side, so one of each.
Oh,
Yeah.
brilliant, yeah.
One of them's the silk one, isn't it? I don't know which one. Is it the white one?
I can't remember,
It sort of attracts the silk moths.
That's right, yeah, because I remember as kids growing up, we'd always look for the silkworms and then watch them hatch, and you just given me back a childhood memory, thanks.
Oh, really? Yeah, there you go.
Brilliant, yeah, that's right, yeah.
So another important part of being here is the infrastructure. So compost toilets.
Yeah.
Because we're going to have a bit of camping this year.
Yeah.
We need some compost toilets that are quite nearby, so we're going to put two there and a shower heated by the sun, so it should be warmish in summer.
Amazing, yeah.
All landowners at the moment are allowed to have 28 days
That's
camping.
right, yeah.
So we're going to take advantage of that.
And start that.
Yeah, it's just an opportunity to a bit more income and just to share the land a little bit. Last year we did it, and it just really nice people that came. I think they're attracted to the fact that we were advertising quiet, back to nature, back to basics camping.
Yeah.
Yeah, so these are the fruit trees we put in.
When did you plant these?
Last winter.
Yeah.
So it's one of the first things we did really, just want to get them in.
Yeah.
Because they obviously take years to fruit.
So you said you got pears, apples, cherries,
plums.
Local species, or what did you choose in terms of the varieties?
Well, we're advised by other apple growers. Some of them are fairly local.
Yeah.
But others are just because
they grow well.
They grow well and they're resistant to diseases. Fingers crossed. Yeah. And they taste good, you know.
Yeah.
So it's that kind of thing. So we've got like classic Victoria plums here. Yeah. Classic Discovery apples. Yeah. Cooking apples as well in there. So I don't know how many years before it really starts to. I don't know, like 4 or 5 years. I think it'll feel quite different in here.
Yeah. Yeah.
It'd be great to have a bit of camping in here as well.
Yeah,
I'd like to camp between
absolutely,
the trees.
Yeah.
So that's actually the South Downs Way is along the brow of that hill there.
Yeah. So although you haven't been here an incredibly long time yet, what are the ways you've seen the land changed? Yeah, well,
over the past couple of years, it's changed in that we bought this land from an intensive livestock farmer. When we arrived, there were lots of enclosures, lots of fences, so we had to pull a lot of those down. It also meant that the soil down here is pretty fertile, just because it's been just pooped on for years and years, which is great. Yeah. We actually got soil analysis done, and it was technically almost obese, is what they call it, because it's almost too fertile. But it was in a good range, so we're okay. Yeah. But a long time it's been used for. I think there's a dairy herd of Jersey cows here in the 40s, 50s. Yeah. So that supplied the village with its milk and cream. So livestock for a long time. But before that, it was used for strip farming. Right. So for perhaps 1,000 years, through Saxon time, all our land here consisted of strips of land for growing cereals and vegetables. Right. And each person in the village would have 2 or 3 strips in different parts of the land, so that it was all fair. And they would grow there for food to feed themselves. So that's how that land was, and it may well be that we're the first people to start feeding the village with fruit and veg from this land since, the 1700s. Wow. So it's nice to do it again. Yeah.
Absolutely, feeding the community.
Yeah.
And in those times, do you think when they had their own individual strips, would they have grown different things and sort of shared it in the community, or do you think they grow for themselves? Or?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, I want to explore it more.
Yeah.
But somebody in the village in the past 10 years or so did a local history, really delved into the local history of this village and how it's changed.
Yeah.
And there's a great map that includes our land that shows all the strips.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
When you're looking to plant fruit trees, do you figure out the best place for the fruit trees and what they need? Did you plant them here intentionally, or was it just the space that you wanted them to be in at the time, or was there more thought?
Yeah, it sort of came down to sort of practical things, because we were letting our friend who lives next door, he's a sheep farmer, we were letting him put all his sheep on the land, which kept the grass down and did him a favour. Because there's a fence here, this field didn't have any sheep in it, so it made sense to put trees in here.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's all sorts of other methods and strategies for planting using permaculture principles. There's possibilities of planting a lot of trees going along the contours of the land. There's agroforestry, having herbivores in between lanes of trees and other planting. So you get the fertility, and there's different options there. So over the next few years, we'll work out what to do. Get a plan together.
Absolutely. When we were in Cookfield a while back filming Graham Love fruit farm, he's been farming fruit for 70 years.
Oh, really?
And it was interesting. When I was a wee nipper, I remember fruit trees up here, but on his farm now, the highest fruit tree is pretty much here. His dad owned it before him, and they used to sell a lot of fruit to the supermarkets, and that's becoming less. People now, what they tend to do with their fruit trees is they'll take off 50% of the growth of the fruit coming through to allow the other fruit to be bigger. It was just interesting that, from years gone by, orchards were really huge and tall.
Yeah.
And I mean, I suppose as well, he grows on such a large scale, and it's easier for farming and so on, and collecting the fruit. Yeah. But he was saying that the yield is pretty much 50% of what they could get, because people like bigger fruit, and also it allows more sun onto the fruit. It's just a very interesting, process. Like, as I go and learn, and it's just then I'll talk to you, and you might do something different. But it doesn't mean anything's wrong or right. It's just different ways of doing things, isn't it? Yeah. One of the reasons I find it exciting coming here is because you drive through a village, and I drive through it a lot. You'd never know that just through a little one-off turning and then another little turning, and then you just here. Do you know what I mean? It's just, and what your guys are doing is just fabulous. So
got quite a lot of support now, because we've got a farm shop. Like one of the reasons for starting the farm shop was not only to try and make some money for our food, but it was also just to have that connection with the village. Be there every Saturday morning. And be there to explain what we're doing, and to put a face to the the new owners. And that's just been invaluable, really.
It's how you can share and talk. That's what society is missing, is that community feel and actually talking to people. You go to a supermarket, you might say thanks or hello, and that's about it. Oh, can you help me with that? I don't really know, but come to someone that's growing it, and it's brilliant.
And then villagers come to our farm shop not only to see us, but just to see each other. They'll stand and talk to each other. And
brilliant, isn't it?
A little community hub.
Yeah, and that's every Saturday.